This is Livingston Mall. Opened in 1972 at a dizzying cost of $150 million, it was once the premier shopping destination of North Jersey. A monument to American excess, this sprawling two-story citadel was once held aloft by the trinity of American capitalism. Three retail titans whose massive spaces assured the mall's prosperity. One by one, we watched them fall. Lord & Taylor, the Grand Dame, was the first to surrender, closing its doors in 2020. Sears followed swiftly after, shutting down in 2021. Only Macy's remains, a lonely sentinel in a vast, echoing space, holding on to the last sliver of the mall's former glory. The slow, painful death of Livingston Mall was not a sudden, brutal blow. It was a decades-long erosion. Its fate, now solidified as a dead mall, began way back in the 1990s, when the first cold wind of change blew through its halls. That wind was the opening of the mall at Short Hills. Just 4 miles away, this more luxurious alternative diverted shoppers and started an almost 30-year decline to what we see today. A heartfelt but futile attempt to save Livingston was the renovation in 2007, replacing the cheerful center fountain with the marble medallion and upscale elevator was the last gasp. Now, the empty building is a haunting reminder of what once was. It has tragically earned the title of the most vacant operating shopping mall in New Jersey. The bustling crowds are gone, replaced by silence and the echo of footsteps. And as a beautiful decaying ruin of a place that now only exists in the hearts and memories of those who cherished it.
How would you compare, since we're coming up to Black Friday?
It's just bad. This mall is bad for business for Black Friday. There's nothing here. It's shocking because it's so isolated and closed. But I kind of like it like this. You know, it opens up a new environment. People can walk around, It's not as crowded. So they're both good to me.
Wow. So I'm pulling in. The potholes are next level. I'm just pulling into the parking lot of this mall right now. Wow, it's worse than I thought. The whole car is but we're here. Livingston Mall in New Jersey. This probably is the most vacant, most empty, borderline totally abandoned mall I was able to find in all of New Jersey. Unbelievable. Look at the sign. The front entrance sign is literally completely overgrown. The weeds and the growth of the plants around the sign are encasing the sign. You can hardly even see it. Well, we're pulling up. It's not looking good for the future of this mall. And to be honest, it's probably going to be closed and demolished within the next year, if I had to guess. This is nuts. So I'm just gonna park over here. I'm gonna get my equipment together. I'm gonna put the camera on a little gimbal and we're gonna stroll through the mall. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. I'm not trying to make it seem any way that it's not. I am simply just gonna show you guys the mall. Oh my gosh. The decay of this place is next level. What's crazy about it is this is like freaking marble right here. Just the cost of this entranceway and how much they spent to make these malls the way that they are is blowing my mind. And then they still have the rose bushes are budding here in the wintertime. Unreal. We're gonna do a little fisheye lens, but you can just see from the way that the landscaping is not maintained. I mean, honestly, I don't know. It feels like I'm doing something wrong even walking in here. Like, am I gonna even be able to open this door? Oh my gosh, the electric doors actually work. Here we go. We are entering. This feels so scary. Wow, it's deadly quiet. They don't even have the quintessential mall music on. No way. This is gnarly. I'm definitely gonna grab my other camera, come back in and take some photos of this, because you are not gonna see a mall like this ever again. Once this place is gone, it's lost to history forever. Look at the gumball machines. I actually saw this in another video and wanted to grab some of these Paw Patrols for my daughter. So I'm gonna definitely go get as much change as I can, or try to get change from one of these stores and come back to here and get some stuff from these machines. These are a thing of the past. You know, they took these out from our Acme, all of our grocery stores where we live. They took all these out. You just don't see this anymore, for real. This was a massive sporting goods store here that had entrances for rails or something it's called. Entrances to the outside and then an entrance to the inside. The only thing that's really left is the cash register. Look at the lights flickering on the ceiling. Even the dollar store couldn't make it in here. I guess I'll loop around through this way. Oh, so eventually this turned into Decor Home, and the sporting goods was there before that, I guess. Here's the directory. Let's see if the directory's up to date or if they've left the directory how it was. Oh no, it's pretty much how it was. They says that they have Claire's, which I know is not in all of these. Aeropostale, Against All Odds, American Eagle, Gap, they're all gone. H&M, Kids Foot Locker, all these are gone. So I think really the only thing that's left in this mall right now, today, when I'm in here. So the filming of this video is around the time I uploaded it, maybe a couple weeks before, but November of 2025. They have Macy's, Barnes & Noble. There's like, I don't know, maybe one or two other things. The food court has one thing left, I believe. With my count, I'm at 82 stores possible. And the Barnes & Noble and the Macy's are still here. So like 84 or 85 possible stores in this mall. I believe there's about 3 left. So the occupancy is at about 3% or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the math guy. Look at this classic storefront though, where you would have your displays in here, and it just looks small. It doesn't look as big as it would with stuff in it. They take American Express though. Like, follow, connect. They do have social media. And this was this the Spencer's here? I'm trying to think. It looks like it could have been, yeah. DTL or something? I don't know. This image right here is actually surreal. One chair, all crusty and ripped. They wouldn't even bother putting more than one chair here because they know not more than one person's gonna sit there. So this was GameStop actually, and then this was DTLR, which I don't really even know what that is, but I think it might have been something else before that. One lone guy walking. S2 Clothing Company, something like that. They tried to block that out so you couldn't see inside. Not much in there. Express Men's Factory. And then this would be the Express right next to it. I can't believe this is unbelievable. This is actually unbelievable. What was this? This looks like an important store here. Like this was a chain store for sure. A big clothing store. Hard to tell. Possibly Gap. So from what I've researched, the Short Hills Mall was the first thing that started the downfall of this mall. Back in the day, the American Shopping Mall was so freaking popular that they were just putting one up in every town, everywhere. Anywhere where there were suburbs, they were putting up malls. So the problem initially, before online shopping was crazy, before the economy was completely tanking, the competition of mall to mall was the very first thing. These guys are walking. He's talking about doing his second mile. So they're coming in here for the exercise, to be out of the cold. This store actually looks like it might be open. It's just not open right now. So I'm gonna swoop around. There is a Macy's that's open, and then go into the food court and check that out. They don't even bother putting anything on the TVs anymore. And you can see the ceiling. Is decaying. This is the Charlotte Russo. One of the stores I thought was actually still open, but it's not. They still do have the advertising behind the counter there. All the lighting on the ceiling. Just the way that they set up the store was fabulous back in the day. You know, the walkway in the middle where you would walk in on the tile. So this isn't just like low occupancy. This is store after store after store of just completely abandoned vacant storefronts. There is no coming back from this. Zero. Even the Foot Locker's gone. We actually have a Foot Locker still at the Hamilton Mall. But this one's gone. And look at this. Who really wants to sit on something like that? They might as well just throw that out. Nobody's gonna sit on it. If they do, they're savage. Some of the stores don't even have their lights on anymore, but the Foot Locker does. So the Foot Locker's next level. This is the kind of stuff as a dead mall enthusiast like myself gets so excited over, which is weird to say because it's kind of sad and just decayed. But like the Foot Locker mascot guy, still here, but all of it's peeling on the side, right? The lights are on. And then look, you can just still see all the chrome and everything that they used to build up the Foot Locker and the cash register. Like, you're never going to be able to see this again once it's gone. liminal spaces. Big time right here. I gotta get some photos of this place. This is crazy. They got a clip drop business deposits here. What is this? I have no idea what that is. This one's boarded off. I guess it used to be a pizza place. Let's see. Livingston Pizza. They just tried to put up some sheets to make it look a little bit less of an eyesore, I guess. I felt like that was a Nathan's Hot Dogs before, from old photos that I saw. I could have been wrong though. So they still have the help wanted sign up at the Master Walk. Look at this. Gnarly. The menus are still here. I'm not going to pan the camera, but there is a Popeyes. Well, I won't pan it too far. Popeyes right there. There's a bunch of people eating there. I'll let them have their Popeyes in peace. This was Fresh Subs. No idea. They put a tarp over this building. Not really sure why they did that. I guess it could be leaking on the inside. Looks pretty grim, for sure. And this was the Burger King. Burger King was a classic to be having in the mall. Did someone just like buy the sign off the front? Why is it gone? You can still get some snacks here right at the machine. That's still up and running for the most part. And we have a Lens Crafters, which there's people for sure in there. But look, they have like one of these air machines. They have like air purifying machines, ventilator machines, because the air quality is so bad that they couldn't really have customers in here for a long period of time. I'm about to put like a freaking mask on. I don't smell any mold though. So look, see the advertising for the Carvel and Cinnabon is still all just right there. This actually looks half decent enough to where you think you could still go to this specific restaurant, whereas the Burger King you could never. You got to think too, like how expensive was that machine when they bought it and they just left it behind. I'm sure you probably at one point in time had to wait in line just to get something from this spot. And now, even look, the soda selections are still here. What are we getting? What's your go-to on this soda rack right here if you were going to order one from that machine? More little vending machines for toys and candy. Absolutely love that. One restaurant open, it's a Popeyes, and then when we leave the food court area, there's a Lids right here, which is actually, I believe, still open. I just don't know when they open. It looks like the store is full of stuff. Here is another, this is like top-notch retail apocalypse footage right here of this light just twitching. No idea what this store was, but it was definitely put together well. It looks really nice still to this day. I also don't know when some of these actually closed, so it's hard for me to really judge This was the kids' Foot Locker here. They have a huge leaks on the ceiling. Look at that. That's gnarly. Wow. So this was the Zoomies. You can tell. You can fully tell. I'm pretty sure at least that's what it was. All the stickers on the counters. Zoomies. Gone. Even just the amount of work they put into making these storefronts the way that they wanted them. And this one's actually just completely boxed off. This was the entrance to the Lord and Taylor, I guess. Again, with the marble work and the tile, the marble tile, just imagine how much they spent on that. Livingston Mall. So this was what I would call the centerpiece of the whole mall right here. The compass on the floor. And this is where you would get the escalator from the lower floor to the upper floor or vice versa. Huge sky roof here. Look at that. Wow. Thought process and the construction that went into building this. And now it is completely abandoned, condemned, and beautiful, to be honest. It's crazy because I saw old pictures, right? Where they had like a 40-foot tall decorated Christmas tree and you could get your photos with Santa here. I think that the last picture I could find of that was like 2017. Wow. It's a little bit unreal, actually. It's crazy. I read a story in a newspaper article about the jewelry store on the end here. Rama Jewelry. Somebody burglarized it, broke in the middle of the night and stole a bunch of stuff. That was earlier in 2025. So it just goes to show like what could go on. The desperation of certain people in the area that they would do that. My eyes are kind of itchy though. The nostalgia right now is next level. Look at this. Oh, which one did I get? I'm in a completely abandoned mall right now. But I can still get a good old-fashioned bouncy ball. Check this out, though. This is crazy. Look at this banana that's just sitting right here. How long has that been there? I wanted to pick it up, but I don't even know if I can. So, the escalators are working. And we're going down. We're gonna go to the bottom floor here. Wow. The design of this place, though, is marvelous. All right, I'm gonna take us this way here. This is just a lone mannequin in an empty storefront. And then we have, oh, this was the Spencer's. Okay. So it doesn't get much more nostalgic than this. Look at this. They even took the neon sign down and everything. The old Spencer's Gifts. Wow. And all the displays and everything are in here still. It does look, everything looks so much smaller when there's nothing in it. That's crazy. Because like this store is actually not that big. All right, so we're cruising along here. Claire's. Cohen's. I don't even know that one. I've never actually seen that one before. And then we come to the last one on the strip here. I'm not really even sure what that is. But this was Sears. It smells like this is bad. Yeah, this stinks. Let's see if we can look inside. Oh yeah, there's escalators inside there. There we go. A little bit of a look-see inside the old Sears. Wow. It smells horrible. Here's the play area, which I can't even say for sure is totally abandoned, because you could definitely play in here still. Let's just walk in. Classic play area. Look at this. Oh, the floor is even cushiony. It's like soft. But also, really, who would bring their kid here at that point? These fixtures, though, if you got these out of here and bought them, cleaned them up, wiped them down with some alcohol, these are pretty cool. Just cruising along here. They turned this little store into a seating area. Oh, this might have been like the information desk, but look at that. There's just a safe right there. Just like totally open to the public. Interesting. I'm assuming this was a store at one point and not just an area for sitting. All right, we're cruising down here. Adam's Jewelry is gone. So the old jewelry store. Crazy because like the lights are on behind the logo and the diamond, and all the advertising is in there as well. But look, even the display where you would see the jewelry is still lit up. The lights are still on, and there's like a little screw right there. Wow, this is crazy. All right, so down towards this end, there actually is a Barnes & Noble, which I'm going to go to at the last stop, because I might actually do some Christmas shopping. And then we got this place, which is like some type of restaurant type of deal. They have a piano inside of it. What is this place? Is this a restaurant? What is this, like chocolates? Candy store maybe? Yeah, most likely. So there is a stretch of a couple stores here. There's a shoe store, there's this cozy place, and then is this like a thrift store? What even is that? There's like a thrift store in here, it looks like. Looks like my kind of a spot. They just have unattended collections of records out here. Closed for inventory. Wow, this place looks crazy. There's definitely some hidden gems in here. They have a loft store, but this looks like a loft outlet store, so it's probably stuff that they couldn't sell at other locations. H&M, which we still have at our other mall near me, is gone from here. I think this was a 2-level store as well. Do they have stairs inside of it or something? No, but I do think it went upstairs as well. Frau Diverse Boutique. This was like a very small storefront. And wow, they just have clutter piled up all over everywhere. Your business belongs here. The leasing opportunities email is blanked out. There's nothing even in the claw machine. That should be against the claw. Get it? So we do have the Macy's here at the other end of the mall. Hidden treasure store. which is pretty cool. I've seen videos of it. I did think this was kind of interesting. This guy used actual bed sheets to cover up his cologne and stuff that he's selling. Couldn't splurge for a tarp, I guess. Not knocking the hustle, but it's just an interesting thing to see. Another factor that plays into it, look at this. Oh, this might be open actually. Nah, it's closed. Look at the mannequin. A big factor that plays into these malls is the anchor stores. All about the anchor stores. The only thing is they ended up paying less rent per square foot because they brought all the traffic to the mall. And about 80%, I think the statistic is, of the mall's revenue from rent comes from the stores within the center of the mall, not the anchor stores. The anchor stores are there just to bring the people in. So when you have 1 or 2 or 3 big anchor stores in a mall and 2 of them out of 3 of them close, you know the end is close, the end is near. So the fact that Macy's is still there, and I guess a little bit the Barnes & Noble, is the only reason that this place can even remain open at all. And I feel like they definitely have to be hemorrhaging money even then. But if that Macy's goes, which Macy's is closing dozens of their locations in the next couple of years, this place will be over with. It will be anyway because it's already condemned. The property is actually under threat of being eminent domained by the county or the city because of the dilapidated state that it's in right now. I mean, look at the trash can. These elaborate, expensive, elegant centerpieces of these malls are what really gets me. Like, look at this. The cost of that. And what, are they just going to rip it out to build condos?
One day we'll forget about the things we said we'd die for. Nothing's gonna last. Yeah, we gotta learn to let go.
So what we talking about today? We're here at Foot Locker where they just had a major sale. You're late because it was like over a year ago. It was open last year and they closed down. And if you was here, you was able to get a lot of stuff. I've been coming to this mall for a long time, basically all my life, man. It's shocking because it's so isolated and closed. But I kind of like it like this. It opens up a new environment. People can walk around, it's not as crowded. So they're both good to me. Just the idea, just putting the idea out on it, like they might be trying to start something new, like a new mall system where just a couple of stores are open and people can use it more like a gym too, This is my Macy's store. I can't get too details what Macy's did to me here one time, but this is my store. I shop here all the time. Macy's and Foot Locker, Lids. I just bought this hat today. It still got the tag on. I bought it from downstairs. I'm still a shopper. I come here and I do more than just shopping.
How would you compare, like, since we're coming up to Black Friday, like Easter week?
It's just bad. This mall is bad for business for Black Friday. There's nothing here. It's bad. Hey, this is my friend. Look, get her. We're doing a video on dead malls.
Of the mall?
They're called dead malls.
Oh, okay.
Is Macy's just gonna stay? How long you think?
Well, they're not part of the mall. They weren't bought. The mall was bought.
Oh, but this was not. So they can close this off and still operate with the other doors.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I got you.
That
Yeah.
would be the intention.
That's what Boscov's did by me, and they've still been going for like 15 years since the Shore Mall, it's called.
It was, they sold them pretzels. Them hot pretzels. Then it was an ice cream store. See, they got the pretzels right there. It was like a pretzel store.
So it was Annie Ann's.
Yeah, you could film that. That big hot shot. Old pretzels on the store.
Oh, because it burnt the thing, right?
Old pretzel store.
The Annie Ann's is still left an imprint on there. Look at this, the drink fountain's still here. Not on though. Did you used to come to this mall before?
Yeah, I just preferred Short Hills. When it was active, we were here. We lived in Edison for 30 years, and we used to go to the malls down there, and then once in a while we just adventure to another mall, but we're not into malls anymore. Now we like downtown.
Now you like downtown.
Yeah, but this
Scary.
is gruesome. Yeah.
Gruesome. All right, came back in to get this last little interview, and that guy just called this mall gruesome.
Gruesome, yeah.
He said this is gruesome. Crazy. This is just still amazes me. Like, you can see from the drill mark that this is like legit marble. Thick marble. The expense. Just the expense. Wow. What's the store called?
Quails. We sell men's clothes. There's all men's mannequins and everything like that in there.
Is it the only store left?
Yeah, that's hardly any. Maybe 3 or 4 stores left in the whole mall.
What happened?
The internet.
Jeff Bezos, right? He got us all.
Have a good one.
Here it is. I met the guy in the parking lot. He said, don't forget to give a shout out to Quails Men's Clothing Luxury. One of the only stores left in the mall. So if you need some fire suits, come on down. The recklessness of this being right here. I was just gonna grab it up, but I decided to get a glove on to do it. But this is sitting in the mall, just right near these vending machines. Those banana. Talk about creating a situation that's a health hazard. That is foul. That is next level. The joys of a dead mall, what you're gonna see inside right here. All right, now exiting the mall. So I might as well give it a score since I did the last one. I would give this one a 5.5 out of 10 for overall experience. I was still able to get a cup of coffee. It wasn't that good, but I still got one. A blueberry scone, which I didn't show you guys. I was able to scoop up a couple Christmas presents. The only thing that's really deterring me from giving it a higher score is the mold and the overall air quality in the mall. It kind of made my eyes itch a little bit, and you just can't be walking around in that. I did it, and people are walking laps in there, but at the end of the day, not really a place you want to frequent. Maybe go there once, but I don't know about regularly. Thank you guys for watching, and there will be more in the series, so subscribe to the channel if you're liking these videos and you just found this channel randomly. Otherwise, hit that thumbs up button, the like button. Leave a comment what else you want to see, other malls, other content on this channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. As I made my way to the exit, a cold wind echoed through the empty corridors of the Livingston Mall. If I closed my eyes, I could almost see the bustling traffic of excited Black Friday shoppers pushing their way through the packed mall only to open them and realize I'm the only one here. The world is changing so quickly, and many of us are homesick for a time and place that no longer exists. Driving away down the highway, I was grateful for my day trip to Livingston to see the peaceful remains of what once was. I think we should all take a trip back in time and remember where we came from. I'll never forget the people I met on this journey. What's your name anyway?
We're gonna skip the name then.
All right, we'll just get right to the beat, right?
Get right to the beat in Livingston Mall.
And walking alone through the most vacant mall in New Jersey. If you enjoyed this episode documenting dead malls, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. What mall do you want me to visit next? Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.
This is the Hamilton Mall, located in Mays Landing, New Jersey. Opened in 1987 at the dizzying cost of $100 million, it was once the undisputed premier shopping destination of South Jersey. A monument to American excess, this sprawling, two-story citadel was anchored by three retail titans. Sears, the first to fall, shutting its doors in 2018. JCPenney followed shortly after, closing in 2019. Today, only the iconic Macy's stands as the last beacon of hope, a single flame flickering in the vast, echoing silence. The Hamilton Mall has fully succumbed to its tragic fate, earning the grim title of a dead mall. With barely 30% of its storefronts occupied, most of them housing replacement, non-chain tenants, this nearly abandoned complex is a chilling stage for the modern retail apocalypse. This colossal monument to consumerism brings the entire economic drama full circle, proving an inescapable truth. Changes in societal habits are an unstoppable force that can topple even the most powerful commercial empires.
What do you think the downfall of the American shopping mall is?
It's all done on computer now. You can order anything on computer.
The internet killed the retail mall.
Yeah.